Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Purpose-Driven Superhumans. I'm your host Raj. This podcast is all about spotlighting people who are living with purpose, whom we call Purpose-Driven Superhumans in the Ubuntuverse. Welcome Abhinav, how is it going?
Yay! This is podcast number 2. Wow, we are progressing towards betterment, and I'm excited again. Maybe I would like to see if you have some new questions for me, something new I can share with my community. Let's do it.
Indeed. So last time we talked about purpose-driven superhumans and we touched about Ubuntuverse. Let's talk about what we are doing right now. So Ubuntuverse is a registered organization right now. Tell us more about it.
Yay! So there was never an idea in the beginning about making a registered organization because it was all about doing something meaningful. And for doing something meaningful, we don't need to register anything. It's a simple activities which we can do. But what happens when over a period of time you can keep doing things and you keep raising your bar and your impact and community grows, and then there were collaboration requests, people wanted to contribute to the growth of organization, so those are kind of request gave us this idea that let's do a official registration, and we did that. Just last month we created UV Foundation. So you can see in our name only UV is Ubuntuverse and PDS is Purpose Driven Superhumans Foundation, which is a Section 8 non-profit company. When I say non-profit, yes, technically it's non-profit, but I think it is for profit of the world, for the animals, for the humans. So it is going to bring the profit or joy to the world. So excited to do more things while what we were doing, we will continue that for sure.
That's amazing. Congratulations to all of us together as a community. So, we did talk about finding purpose, and we do offer a program called Find My Why. And we talked about why we need Find My Why. Let's delve a little deeper and what is Find My Why initiative?
Yes, I remember that I talked about why Find My Why and also how I came up with the whole model. So Find My Why was the first offering as Ubuntuverse to the world. So Ubuntuverse as an organization has been working in three pillars. We call it 3E, and they are like education. So basically, give people education. You can call it alternate education, but I will call it the real education because you are actually getting closer to the real you. So it's not alternate, it is the real education. Then we have empowerment. So basically these educational programs, these activities empower you to find better you and do something meaningful or creating a better world. We give you tools, we give you information. And then the third E is engagement. So there is a community building, people come together, they meet offline, they meet online, they create impact in the world. So many things are happening. So through these three we are doing many things, and Find My Why was the first offering, which was a combination of all three, because it was an educational program. It has something to teach you, something which you should have learned as early as possible in your life. But when the time is right, then the teacher appears. It is that's a beautiful Japanese saying. So whenever you are ready, the Find My Why program appears to you. And then in this program, we also empower people. We give a lot of tools. So basically, the program is designed for 21 days. It happens 5 a.m. live India time, and also 5 a.m. The same recording is played on the same day in US time and also European time, because we have now volunteers who have found this program so useful for their own personal life that they want to give it to more people. So we have three different time zone, 21 days program, 1 hour every day. So basically you invest your 21 hours or almost 1 day of your life, because some days, some weekends, maybe a little extra. So overall, not more than 24 hours, 1 day of your life to find yourself. The program has a lot of content around why, purpose, and so we follow a very beautiful model, which we call it a purpose model. Is basically the three circles. We call it purpose model, why model, where in the center of you there is a why attached to you, there's a purpose attached to you, and that's like nobody can change it, because that's why how you are born, why you are born. And then around that there is how, and how is something which are like different fields or passion you carry, because we almost everybody here has multiple passion, like we love this, we love that. So how you can live your why is coming from those passion which are your, which are something which is attached to you and makes you unique, right? And then on the third outer circle comes what. So why, how, what, and what is something is which particular passion you think are going to be most beneficial for yourself and for the world, and then you master them. So you create your skills around it, and then with that model, if you live life, you will be getting closer to your why and living your why. Now this is something why I call it that this education you would have got, or is an alternate education, because in the world which we live, or which where I got education, this same model is followed in opposite direction. Like for example, when you are very young, the question which is asked to you, maybe you are 5 year old or 10 year old, people or teacher or your relatives or family ask you question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then with our understanding, we tell we want to become cricketer, we want to be astronaut, we want to be pilot, and we want to be scientist, right? But nobody asks you the question why you want to be that. They may ask still how, and how is like, okay, I will have to, go for this kind of education, do this PhD, do this master, join that course, but nobody asks you the question why you want to be that, which is the most important question. Because if you ask that question, there are high chances that maybe your real answer will change of what do I want to become, because your why has to be fulfilled. And that's why many people, they become what they really wanted to be when they were very young, because their parents supported them, society supported them, and they became. But then they found that hollowness. Oh, I became pilot, I became scientist, I became actor, I became this, but now they're empty, because the most important question which should have been asked very early was missing. So this program brings back the right direction of the how the questioning should come. Why, how, and what. So that is the structure of the program in 21 days, which we try to break down through different activities, many tasks. You will end up maybe writing a book for yourself in 21 days, your own book for yourself. And that's the magic. People write those books and they fall in love with that book, or rather than they rise in love with that book. There's no falling in Find My Why. And then Find My Why comes to a conclusion where if you finish the program, you finish all the tasks, you get to other side and you join the community forever, where we never stop learning, we support each other, the empowerment and engagement continues after the program ends. But for that, you have to go through this small fire of line, because getting up at 5 a.m. is not something easy for you, but nothing greater has been achieved by doing easy things, right? So maybe one difficult thing if you can do for 21 days, getting up at 5 a.m. and surrendering to the program and task, you will see what more than 2000 people have seen and many are about to see.
So, one thing that I think we should talk about a little more is give a shout out to the volunteers, because Ubuntuverse as a community is a completely volunteer driven organization. So, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, yes. See, so I started the program and I was the one person. I could have maximum, what would I have done? I would have just run that same program again and again and again and again. But then there were people who found this program so valuable that they started volunteering, and that's how the program has grown in three different time zone. If I only had to run all the community events like potlucks, I could do only one city. But now we are in 13, 15 cities. I'm forgetting the count, and I'm happy to forget the count because never about the count. That's happening there. Then we have multiple programs in Ubuntuverse. Find My Why is happening. Veganess Academy is happening. Ubuntu Wellness Academy is happening. Safalta campaign is happening. There's so many things happening which is impossible for one person to do. And that's what the whole power is, creating purpose-driven superhumans. When you create purpose-driven superhumans, you create the growth, you create the impact, you create the change. And one thing which is very important here is, I think, which many people get to know and then they don't understand the beauty of it, is that these programs and all the services are free because they make you free. Now, you if you don't understand the statement, maybe a little more on this same line is that these programs are so powerful in their nature that there is no one who can calculate and use the analytical mind to give that this program is worth this price. I mean, you cannot find the price. That's one reason why they're free, because when there's no pricing done on anything, you have to give it for free. But the commercial world, the free things are used for very different purpose, like to attract people to buy something by giving the free. Here we are selling nothing. Like many educational activities and programs organization, what they do, they give things for free to sell something later on. Here the best thing what we give is the Find My Why, and that's where you start, and it's completely free because it makes you free. If you don't understand the statement, you will once you join the program and reach on day 21. What I mean when I say you are going to be free, and there's nothing possible.
Like, I think now that we've talked so much about volunteers and how we offer it for free, let's talk about some success stories of the Find My Why program. How do we measure if a person has found their purpose? Like, is it like a huge thing that they have to do? Is it completely life changing, or there are certain small things that they do, and you like, sometimes you instantly know, oh, this person is doing something very different after doing the program, and that's a beauty in it.
Yes. So beauty is in small things, okay? And big things are made with lot of small things, right? So because I have done this program for 19 times, 20th one is starting on 12th May. So and I have gone through this program, more than 2000 people have done the program. One specific example may be difficult to tell me, but I know there are so many people from different lifestyle. For example, maybe two of them which right now are popping in my head. One, because it was so special in its nature. What happened? Maybe is it was around batch 5 or 6, where I got get this message in LinkedIn because I shared the about the program in LinkedIn, and there's a person, there's a lady called Neetu from Bangalore, and she messaged me that I would like to register for this program, and obviously I said, yeah, please do that. The link is there. She said, but there is a situation. So what? I cannot hear. I'm like, I am going to talk in this program. If you cannot hear, I have no idea how can I help you in this. She told, but I think this program can change my life. I also know that, but if you can't hear, I don't know what to do. She said, okay, I will try to do the program and I will try to read your lips and understand the program. And I was like so scared. Right? I was like maybe I'm going to face first critical feedback for my lifetime. I got nothing from the program. But I loved her in because I was already giving up, like saying, I don't think I can help you. But she was like, I think I need this. And then she joined the program, and Google Meet has subtitles also, but because I'm not a native English speaker, so my English is, when subtitles come, is very different right? And my lips, so for 21 days she missed not a single day. She came there, she was reading my lips and those subtitles, and every day I was feeling like I don't think she will come tomorrow, like she lost it. But she came every single day, and on 21st day she was the first person sending the video of her feedback, and I like, it made me feel like so much goosebumps and like teary, because she was telling that how this program has changed her attitude and has got that lost confidence and that lost vision to her. And I was like, seriously? And I think that day I realized the real power of that program. Somebody who can't even hear can get the program. Then I think the program is much more powerful. It has gone beyond what I was imagining. And then the second was, there is a elderly lady, maybe she is in her sixth, and one of the participants, she's his aunt. So he thought right now her children live abroad, and she is living alone. So he thought that maybe she will understand this program and maybe this program will be helpful. So she joined the program. She also, her main language is not English. She can understand it, but she did the program. And she used to not ask me any questions, not very engaging, because she was shy maybe to talk in English or open up her pain in front of so many people. She heard the program, heard the program, heard the program. After 21 day, she messaged me, Abhinav, I got some courage because of the program. And the first time in my life, I'm going to go to a pilgrimage called Vaishno Devi all by myself. Okay, like she was somebody who will maybe not go in her same city confidently, and now she decided to go on a pilgrimage by her own. She went there and she recorded the video there, how happy she's feeling there, okay, that she could do it alone. She is there right now. And so these are the, like, there are multiple, maybe hundreds of such incidences, small testimonials and things, where small things people are doing as a result of this program, which is creating the bigger impact for sure in the world. We are not much into measuring the impact, because we are believer in the philosophy that you do your job and do not worry about results, because when you worry too much about results, then you stop doing your job well. But you have to do your job so good that results are bound to be good. So we are giving, and we are getting these small bits and pieces of motivation and acknowledgement and small habits. People are healthier, they see that they have lost their weight, they have gained the confidence, their sleep cycle is better, their mindset is more cleaner, they are able to give time to their family. I mean, so many small things are happening with everybody, and everybody is unique person. The need of their life is unique, so what happens to them is also very unique. You have to feel by yourself, for yourself, that what really you need and what this program gives to you is up to everybody. What How do you come to this program at that moment of time, what kind of energy you bring, and what kind of surrender you do.
It's really inspiring to hear these stories, even though I've heard it like a million times before. But every time I hear this again, you still feel the power these stories hold, because the way they have changed lives of these people, and uh, by that extension our lives as well. So that's how interesting, that's how powerful Find My Why has been. That's one of the programs that we offer. The another one that is pretty close to me as such, that is Veganus Academy. Now let's delve a little bit into what is Veganus Academy and how did we come to this name, Veganus Academy.
So I'm a fan of Marvel Avengers. Okay, I watched all those movies, and I have been a fan of any superhero series, comics from since many, like maybe the day I got my conscience and I started reading. I The first thing I read was comic book. So I have been inspired by these stories of how somebody common, somebody who was not a very great human, not had eight hands or four legs or two brains or eight eyes to see, just like us, but decides to do something larger than their life for somebody else, for a better world. And that whole idea was so fascinating to me, and I used to watch this. And then one day I was just thinking about that, how can I give back to all the vegans who are trying to give their best. They go on street, they talk to people, they try to give this message of compassion. And because I've done probably more than 1000 outreaches and have spoken to 10,000 people one to one, because I was working for Greenpeace, and that time my whole job was 8 hours talking to people about climate change and environment. So I'm talking about outreaches, and some of them were vegan outreaches, some of them were climate change outreach. But I'm talking about the experience of speaking to people and being on the field. And I was trained by my organization. Then I got trained on the job by practicing with 10,000 plus people, and I knew that what kind of fear and mistakes I used to do in the beginning days. And then if I did not have something consistently to work upon, maybe a mentor or somebody, a coach on the field or with my organization to coach me, I would have not become so better, which right now what I feel. But I was seeing that that was missing in the vegan outreaches. Like there's nobody to guide them. They see some videos, they read some articles, maybe some documentaries, and then they go out, which is very natural because we all want to bring the truth out to the public. So that intention is pure beautiful. But when we go to the field, because of lack of communication skills, we end up doing something exactly opposite of what we wanted to. Like we go to the field to make somebody more compassionate, maybe a vegan, but when we talk to them, the way we pitch things, the person goes back with anti-vegan theories, anti-vegan mindset. Not because what you said was wrong, but how you said was not the effective one. And that's a pure skill. It doesn't come to anybody naturally. It comes with practice. But I wouldn't want that in this practice somebody first makes hundreds of anti-vegan and then learn. Because what will happen then those anti-vegans then, because now they are become anti-vegan, right? So to reduce the damage to the activism outreach, to share my experience, to give what I learned, I thought about creating an academy for especially activists as my gift to them, because they do so much for the animals. And if somebody trains them, they can do better and they can feel happier and powerful. So we wanted to create this academy. And then I was thinking, what should I name them? And I think there was some recent Avenger movie I saw, which one, but some Avenger movie I saw, and I loved it. And then maybe that when movie starts or somewhere end, the Avengers comes on the screen, and at that moment, beautifully, something happened that Avengers term started shifting its own letters. The V came in the first, E came after, A came here, and exactly Avengers became veganers in my own eyes. And I was like, oh my god, that moment. And that's what you see on the screen, that logo, veganers, which is exactly Avengers written differently as veganers. And then I sat down and I made this design, and then I asked a volunteer to create a design for me based on this theme. And then the volunteer created this design, which is here. And then Veganers Academy came to you. And I also thought about how should I introduce Veganers Academy. So Avengers, if you go to Google and find the definition, it says Avengers are the team of fictional superheroes who are trying to save the world. And that gave me the definition of veganers. So Avengers definition, veganer definition is everything same, just fictional becomes real. Veganers are real team of superheroes trying to save the planet Earth, animals, right? Because we are really doing this job. I mean, we know that those Avengers are using green screen and all the effects to show whatever they're showing. There's nothing they are doing for saving the world, but just having entertainment. But that intention and that action and that kind of energy is really in the heart of every activist who is standing there out or trying to make a content or trying to share a story on WhatsApp to make the world a better place. with little training, with little tweaks in the way they do it, how they do it, they can become happy and powerful. So Veganers Academy is a academy for the real superheroes, and make them happy, because we have to be happy if we want to create a happy world. People, if you want to connect to anybody, if you don't look happy, they don't want to talk to you. I mean, nobody wants to. Will you spend a time with somebody, on a stranger on the street, who looks sad, or who looks depressed, or looks anxious, or who looks angry? No, I don't want to talk to anybody on a street stranger. But if somebody is happy, if somebody I see who's content, somebody I see a source of positive energy stops me, high chances that I will be, taking a pause to understand why this person is so positive. And then powerful, because you have the tools, you have the information, you have the facts, and you know how to carry the conversations. So that is the academy, which is a 5 week long. And I was so blessed, because I thought that I know some few things, but I'm not the expert in all the things about veganism, because I'm also a student of this whole life. So started getting more mentors. So Veganers Academy has me as one of the mentors, has Dr. Shailesh Rao. I think most people who are into vegan field, they know him. He's a climate scientist. We have Claire Mann, vegan psychologist from Australia. She has written multiple books. Her book Wistopia is a must read for everybody, but if you are about to start your vegan activism, must read for you. We have Jamie Logan, who is an activist from USA, New York, and she is a content creator, a model. She has been featured in some vegan films. Amazing activist. We have Shivam Nandi from India. We all know him. He is an amazing content creator and activist. We have Arvind Shiva, not Arvind the vegan activist, but Arvind Shiva, who is from Bangalore, and he is a trainer on non-violence communication, NVC something is called. And then we have Amri from Singapore. She's a mother. As a mother, her children are vegan, her whole family is vegan, and she has also changed many organizations. Like, she brought first vegan program in Rotary, which is the largest I think group, like community in the world, Rotary groups. She brought a vegan program, vegan something inside that. And we have Ashish Jain from Indore, who talks about health, how to be a healthy vegan, because it is important. Then when we go out, people don't find the reasons to tell us that, okay, everything is good, but why you look unhealthy, why you look something which is not fit. That also, Ashish Jain is the vegan fitness. He's a model. He has done the bodybuilding also, not model, bodybuilding basically. We have Shivam Nandi, have Suresh, who is a YouTuber, who comes there to talk about it. And these are the powerful trainers. And sometimes there are guest speakers who also come, who talk about it. So Veganers Academy, and again, it's free, because it makes you free from the basics challenges you feel when you do the activism. And it happens for 5 weeks long. It's a 5 week long. And I think the good news is that we just made this program self-paced. So now you can do this program at your own pace, even if you are living in different time zones or do not have time to attend live sessions.
Wow, that's really amazing to have so many different, so many mentors as such that can really help. Because I remember when I became a vegan and I wanted to do activism, the way I would approach people was completely different. It was more of, why don't you see the truth? The truth is right in front of you. You should be seeing it. You should be changing it. To now me helping them into, what do you think about it? Now that it is happening, what do you think about it? Do you think it is okay? If not, what should you do? And the whole persona of how of my persona changed, and that changed the whole idea of talking to people as such. So it's amazing. But there's one more melodious program or campaign that we run, and that we call as Safalta. So what is Safalta campaign, and why did you choose music as one of the medium for speaking up for animals?
So, see, because I have been doing outreaches and for many years, and I have tried different types of activism, I had to find some way which is more closer to my own skill and passion. And I, because when you do something which you are good at, naturally there is some kind of hold on that particular skill and passion. You enjoy doing it, and you grow, you scale that, you make it successful, and you don't worry much about the results, because even if the results are not promising, you enjoy the process, right? So, and that I learned by trying multiple things. And I feel that veganism is like that sun, right? Which when comes to in your life, it brings light, right? But just imagine if somebody was living in a dark room and you directly bring them to the sun. The first thing what will they do is close their eyes, right? And probably it will hurt them. And probably they will not open their eyes because it hurt them at the first. So they would like to go like this only, because they were so used to the darkness. And many a time activism, what we try to do is we try to bring the sun on their face. like know the truth right now. And that's why people close their eyes, because from the darkness to the sun, everything is a natural reaction. I don't want to see it. But the beautiful process will be if you, from the dark room, if you first let the sunshine from some hole to come inside, so that you can get introduced to the sun, right? And I feel that if, as an activist, what we should do, we should do the job of introducing the sun with a small informations in maybe given period of time, telling them something in the first meeting, letting them come to your potlucks or some community building or outreach, and then see more and then see more and then see more, so that they never close their eyes and remain blind forever. So giving them the pieces, and then I thought, how can I give them that kind of, ray of sunshine? And for me, that was music. Because see, music is actually a ray of sunshine. And like people, for many people find, that music gives me comfort, like in many emotions. Music can cover all the emotions. Whatever you feel, there is one song attached to it. When we are happy dancing, there is a dance song we all love. When we are not sad, we have got breakup or something, we have, there is a song we love. So we have songs for all the mood, right? Friendship, we have songs, right? Everything we have song. So I thought, what can be the song for the compassion? What can we call it? And Safalta came as a term. I love playing with these terms. We just saw Veganer's Avengers example. Safalta was another example. So Safalta is basically in Hindi means success, and I want veganism to be successful. It will be successful. Not that I want it. It will be, because everybody will see that compassion is the only truth. But how can I bring the ray of sunshine to them? So music, because it was my skill passion. I have been learning music. I have been into singing and writing for many years. So Safalta became, the abbreviation is like sing along for awakening love towards animals. That's called Safalta. And again, another, like I like, wow, I found something amazing to express to people and bring to people. Another campaign. So Safalta campaign started almost 2 years ago. We have, every month we create a song. The songs which people already have loved, we just translate them, recreate them into a message of compassion, and then we launch it. Now I have a team. I have Twisha, I have Kirti, who are helping me in writing and singing and editing, and many people who are helping in re-uploading or sharing. So it's a community campaign. Every month we get a release one song. So last month we released our 25th song. So that's how I know 2 years.
So, what is the creative process of producing every song? Like, how do you ensure that every song that uh, you launch is resonating with the audience?
So, creative process is simple. We pick up one song which has been on the lips of people, like they hum the song, they know the song. It's a like a viral song. So, some song which has to be more than 10 million views for sure. Okay, because the song has to be relatable, and then we choose the most important stanza which people hum, because people usually don't remember the whole song, they remember some part of it, right? And then we sit with that song, we start changing the lyrics into the compassionate message, and we try to make the song for 60 seconds only, because 60 seconds is a good, hardly anybody remembers the whole song. We all remember 60 seconds, like some part of the stanza, and we love that humming in the regular life. And then we sit with that. It takes almost maybe 10 days to choose the song, edit it, I mean to write the lyrics of it. So, and then sing it. So either I sing, either Kirti gives the voice, or sometimes other people also gives the voice, and then we edit that video. And for example, if I have to tell you, there was a very popular song called Pasuri. It became viral, like it was like billion views, and people were singing na 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 agla ga vajuri nu an jan di pasuri nu, right? So that song was viral. So we picked the song because it's getting popular. Everybody has that song on the lip for the when it was viral. And then we sat with the song, and we changed the lyrics to like मुर्गी किसने मारी है. So we created the whole song into new song, and we call it Pasuri to Supari. Okay, so that's the creativity here, and it was loved by people, heard by many people, and the humming became same music, same tone, but a different intention, a beautiful intention of raising compassion. That's how Savalta campaigns have been making the songs.
Let's talk about one of the most engaging activity that we do every month in the Ubuntuverse, that is potlucks. So, how did this idea of having a community meetup as a potluck came to you, and how do you think that food brings people together in meaningful ways?
Yeah. So see, we are humans who are designed to be social, right? We cannot find all the elements what we need from watching a video or meeting somebody on Google Meet. Like that is something which is currently we are doing it because it obviously has got us to another level of our evolution, that now I can talk to you sitting in different parts of the world at the same time. Technology has got that benefit to us, but the real magic, and we all know, if you and me would have been doing this podcast in the same room, the energy would have been different, right? So when we meet people, when we see people, when we touch people, like because we have got the senses to touch, to feel, to hug, and to listen, and to smell, and to see things, when we are able to do all the five senses, then there is some other magic. And then people, if you go back to history of humans, they have been food gatherers. Like they have been gathering for the activity called how to bring the food for the family, right? And then eat together. So that activity has always been the centerpiece of the table. Like family, even now families come for the lunch at least once a day. They try to eat the food together because the food brings them together, right? So I thought that in our campaign, in our activity, food is very important because we are trying to aware about what is the power of food, what kind of food brings good in the world and into your body. So in that way, people will bring the food. So there is a magnet which has been magnet forever, and we can also show what kind of magic can be done with plant-based ingredients, right? Because I already knew when I was in Calcutta that there are so many people who make amazing sandesh from soy milk, amazing biryani from plant-based ingredient, amazing dahi vada from plant-based ingredient. So I thought that if everybody gets to see this as a whole thing at one place, then you have no excuse in your mind, because many people agree to whole idea, but then they see, but I have to leave my biryani, I have to leave my dahi, I have to leave my mithai, sweets and everything. And I thought, but solutions are there. So bringing solutions at one place was a community potluck, and also communities are magical where, because we are social animals. So all these ideas came together, and potluck is not something new which I have discovered, but potluck with purpose, potluck with a meaning, and potluck with love was something which was our idea. So we got the people, we told Ubuntu story every time in those potlucks so that we know why we are here, and then how we come, we bring food together. What we do, we eat food, we connect to each other, we hug, we meet, we listen, we make sure that we go back as a better human, as a happier human, and also our stomachs are filled with love and compassion. There's no lacking of eating as a plant-based person. And potluck became hit, and then it started becoming multiply themselves with the help of volunteers. So I started Kolkata, and after that I started no cities, but now we have so many cities.
So, many times we often hear that potluck is not an effective way of doing activism. What do you think about it?
So first of all, I don't get it why there is a comparison. I mean, why there is a need of comparison here? Because we do multiple things in our life. But if this question, as you have asked, has to be asked, I actually, because I have done outreach, enough outreach to make a case study and tell what can happen. Okay, because 1,000 outreaches are enough sample, like big sample, for me to conclude what happens in outreach, what kind of results come out of outreach, right? And in Ubuntu, we do almost 13 15 cities potluck. You multiply with every month, you multiply with 12 and multiply with 2.5 years, you will see we have done almost 200 potlucks. So then again I have a big sample, right, to talk about it, like 200 potlucks, and the stories or the impact comes out. And somehow I've seen that the impacts and stories from the potlucks are getting better. So then I thought that, is potluck effective activism? Is it activism at all? So first, let's understand what is activism. Whenever the word comes, what we imagine somebody standing on the street with a placard is activism. But actually, that is one type of activism. Activism is when you act in your given capacity for bringing the good change in the world. Standing on the street is one type. Cooking vegan food and showing that to the people is another type. Making a song is another type. Creating a vlog is another type. So there are 100 types of activism. Rather than comparing one to another, we should do what we are good at. Because that's what I did. I made Safalta campaign because I found I am good at making songs. Now potlucks are actually one of the best form of activism, because I just talked about that humans are social animals and we perceive the whole world through five senses. And even the marketing companies know that, and that's why they are trying that if they want to sell a product to a consumer, if they touch maximum senses, the chances to sell that product is higher. Like if they can show you something, make you smell something, make you taste something, make you touch something, make you listen something, they know that they have high chances to capture your attention. right? Potlucks have all the five things at the same place. All other activism form have maybe two or three or four. Potlucks, you see the food and people. You smell the good taste. You taste the good food. You listen the stories of people and all other like basic happiness and joy. And then you touch really the food and people and hug and meet. That's why if there has to be comparison, potluck should be one of the best way of activism. But there's no need of comparison. We have to do all the form of activism what you are good at, rather than wasting our energy into this is not good, that is better, this is better. That is where actually we are dividing ourselves, rather than we need to say how can we do 100 forms of activism supporting each other. Like I see outreach is something where we meet somebody, and I just said that rather than throwing sun on their face, introduce the sun to them by small examples of compassion, and then invite them to the potluck. Potluck is where they will actually see the some part of the sun, because you have food on your table, you have people. You cannot excuse there's no food, you cannot have excuse there are no people, you cannot excuse that old people cannot do it, you cannot excuse that children cannot do it, you cannot excuse that women cannot do it, because you see everybody there. But at the outreach, you have only few things. Like at the outreach, you are maximum you have two or three senses. Like they're seeing something, they're listening something, and maybe if you allow them to touch few things to understand, maybe they touch that, right? So comparison, please get out of it. Try your best in whatever form of activism. I'm the one who is running Beginners Academy to train activists outreach for outreach, right? And I'm the one who is also having potlucks. So if I had any like my favorite, then I will be doing only this. But I'm doing all. Safalta campaign, Venus Academy, potlucks. Because I feel all the form of activism, which is your action in your capacity to bring a better world, should be done. That's why the potlucks are my favorite, and that's why they work beautifully with people.
One of the aspects that we usually hear from people is also the health aspect, which is usually one of the most focused things that people want to talk about. That this is healthy, this is not healthy. I want to live a disease-free lifestyle, and I want to live a longer life, and basically a happier life. And one of the things that we offer is the Ubuntu Wellness Academy. What is Ubuntu Wellness Academy, and how does this help the community?
Yes, so Ubuntu Wellness Academy is something which is not open for anybody till now, because this program was a very natural need of those people who did find my why. And after doing find my why, what happens that you understand the importance of having health much more, with the seriousness. Because when you have a purpose, you don't want to suffer with diseases and waste your time into treating those diseases. You want to really live those purpose and those beautiful meanings in your life. So the importance of health and the demand of people who have done Find My Why was rising. That how can we be fitter, healthier in our mind, in our body? And at that same period of time, there were some people who were skilled and passionate for the same field who were doing Find My Why. Like they did Find My Why and they were skilled about health, food, mental wellness. So it was a natural formation that there is a demand now, and then there are people who are experts. So our one of the directors in Ubuntuverse Foundation, Hema Gopi, we call her with love Hema Amma, because she's like a mother who is making her children eat healthy, be healthy. She came up with this program, and she found a team herself. She talked to the people who were passionate about these different elements. So now she made a team where we have she is herself a believer in naturopathy and how to live life majorly with the natural resources. Then she has a MBBS doctor who has brings the real science, medical science behind being healthy. We have a chef who has been creating master recipes for making any food from plants which is tastier, healthier than their non-vegan versions. We have somebody who is passionate for psychology and mental well-being. We have a PhD holder who talks about the gut bacteria and all those things. We have somebody who talks about eight dimensional wellness. So a team was formed very naturally who started bringing their why by Ubuntu Wellness Academy. But the program is only useful to you when you do find my why, because as we say, it's not what, how, why. It's why, how, what. So when you know your why, at your how level, you understand your health. And then at what level, you create some habits on a daily basis so that what you do every day, that you remain healthy and then keep living the why. So UWA is for them free because it makes you free.
All right, so we have talked about Find My Why, we have talked about Veganist Academy, Safalta campaign. potlucks and Ubuntu Wellness Academy UW as well. What would you say is the most powerful outcome you have seen from someone who has participated in one or more of these initiatives?
Oof. I think the most powerful outcome is me myself, because the kind of person I am becoming in this process, the kind of joy I feel every single day while listening to these stories of transformation, which keeps we have a community of people who have done Find My Why in WhatsApp. And every day, I don't see any one day where I do not listen somebody talking how they made a difference in the world. Okay. So every day when I see that this is happening, they remind me what should I do more for the world. Then there are people who are talking about their health transformation in Wellness Academy. Then in Veganus Academy, there is another group of Veganus Academy, all alumni. And almost every day I get to hear them, I could inspire somebody. I could change somebody's habit a little. I could have a better connection with my family. I could have better connection with my friends. I did this, I did that. Then Safalta campaign. The songs and the comments come on Instagram, people sharing them. We have thousands of views. Overall, we have reached more than 1 million views for all the Safalta campaign songs. So every day I have being the reason to see these changes on multiple level. I feel humble, I feel grateful, and I feel that I am growing as a human. So I'm the best result of the everything what I'm doing, because I'm doing, not thinking much. And then there are hundreds of examples like them. You have to join the community to be one. So please join. Please join. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, you join, because I want you to find your why, even if you don't want to find your why. I want. Please join.
One final thing that I would like to ask you is how do you see the evolution of all the programs that we have done? So basically, when the Find My Wife batch 1 was started and the Find My Wife batch 20 that we are going to do right now, the amount of evolution, the amount of progress that we have made for the program is massive. And how do you explain that? What was the process that we went through with this?
So there's a very natural process which I always try to explain with the example of a tree. Okay, because tree are love. They are reason for so many things why we are able to live in this planet. And if you see a tree, observe a tree, you will see that the day the seed popped up in the soil, from that day on till today, there's no single day which is same for the same tree. Every day, a tree is creating either a new leaf, either a new flower, either a new fruit, either a new branch, and it never stops. Like a tree is like a growing journey forever. Maybe in initial days, the growth was visible and faster. That what happened to us. That because initial days we had no slides to show for Find My Wife. For 5 batches, I just sat with my notes and talked from my notes. People had nothing to see on the screen, and yet they found such a powerful thing. And now then Shreya, she had a passion to create because she's a teacher. She is a teacher in a school, so she created a PowerPoint, Canva PowerPoints, and then it became much more powerful. Then the content started improving because of my own never giving up. Like a tree is example of that. Tree never gives up. Tree is focusing on its growth because the roots are inside. And it is said that a tree, the taller the tree on the top of the ground, the deeper it is inside the ground, right? Because when it grows taller, it has to hold the ground much more, and the nutrients also from the ground. So Ubuntuverse, as it grow on top, it's growing deeper inside also with our roots. So the program, everything is just a natural law. If you keep doing something with the love, patience, purpose, you have to grow. There's no other option for left for you that I cannot. What happens? People have lack of patience. Like suppose a tree says, I am done with all this. Let me take out my roots from the ground. I'm not gonna try to suck the water and nutrients from the ground. Done. Dies. Or says, I'm done with photosynthesis. I don't want any photosynthesis happen. And a lot of effort it happens to create a leaf. Done. So when you stop putting those efforts which have sense of purpose, patience, persistency, then you became mediocre, or you are like non-existent. But otherwise, in the nature, everything grows beautifully, and Ubuntu is just like a tree. Every single day, a new leaf, a new flower, a new fruit, a new branch, because we are focusing on the root and the photosynthesis from the energy of universe. So it's happening, it's growing, and I'm just enjoying the journey.
Thank you so much for talking to me, Abhinav, today. It has been great. It has been energetic to revisit these programs, the purpose why we started them, and the fun that we have had while developing these. And still, it is all in the process of consistent improvement. So, Thank you so much, and let's meet again.